Good evening to you all. I am Dr. K. Pushpam, Assistant Professor in Sociology. Today we are discussing about social deviance. Introduction. In every society, the behavior of individual member is regulated by a set of social norms. All societies provide for uncertain standards of human behavior which are called norms, because in our society has a certain rules and regulations. We are following the rules and regulations, so we are always within the rules and regulations, that is called norms. But no society completely succeeds in getting all its members to behave in accordance with these social norms. Some of them fail to conform to these norms. Failure to conform to the customary norms of society is deviant behavior. So those who are deviate from our social norms, that is our deviant behavior. So behavior may be socially approved, tolerated, or it is disapproved, and these social judgments provide the criteria by which we determine what is conforming or deviant. Behavior that is considered right or wrong is a matter of formal obligations and differs from society to society. Yes, definitely that behavior and the rules and regulations or norms will be differ or varies from society to society. For example, rural society, urban society, or tribal society. So, what is considered deviant behavior in one society may be considered to approved behavior in another society. For example, the West permits free mixing of sexes, but the East does not approve it. Then, definitions of the social deviance. Good day. Deviance is behavior or an attitude that some people in a society find offensive or reprehensible, and that generates or would generate it if discovered in these people disapproval, punishment, condemnations of, or a hostility towards the actor or possessor. Then Cleanard says deviance is a deviance from norms which are tolerated or which provoked only mild disapproval or obviously of little concern to a society. Only those institutions in which behavior is in disapproved direction and of all sufficient degree to exceed the tolerance of the community constitute deviant behavior. Then Gohan he defined deviant behavior is that which deviates from or violates one or set of social norms, whatever these may be. Deviance may be defined as an aberrations, a turning from the right course, on obliquity of contact. Social deviance, which crime is considered a social ill or social problem. Kipan and Jones says behavior which deviates in disapproved directions. Attention is directed primarily to instances to disapproved behavior considered serious enough to warrant major societal efforts to control them, using strong negative sanctions or treatment correction techniques. So he says the behavior which deviates disapproved direction, those people are having the disapproved behavior in the society, that behavior will be treatment or getting the punishment, that will be corrected for some kind of techniques will be adopted for like punishments or giving the chance for the particular persons, all these having in the deviant behavior. Then approaches to understanding social deviations. The reason why some conduct is considered deviant and some not considered deviant is explained through broad normative consensus in society and group conflict. The normative consensus approach to deviant behavior based on the idea of society-wide agreement about right and wrong behavior. This approach implies that these widespread values serve the best interest of all. The next, the group conflicting approach, the deviant behavior is based on the idea that diversity of modern society leads to conflicting beliefs and attitudes, because the pursuit of an interest by one group may interfere with the interest of other groups, and behavior deemed deviant by one group may be conforming behavior in another group. The group conflict approach assumes that there is a heterogeneity, diversity, and lack of uniformity in modern society. Various groups in society support values and interests that may be conflicting with those of other groups. One group is considered deviant behavior, deviant by another group. The societies and social organizations are shaped by diversity, cohesion, and change. Then we have a various types of deviance. The major categories of deviance, types of deviance are: one is the deviant drug abuse. Two major categories of drugs used deviantly are opiates and halogen, in addition depressions, stimulants and solvents, drinking and alcohol use, sexual deviance, some criminal behavior such as white collar crimes by business and professional men, embezzlement by financial trust, suicide, mental illness, etc. Then social, what is social disorganization? Because the always social deviance lead to social disorganizations. In an organized society, all its various parts are in equilibrium, and there is harmonious adjustments among its different institutions and the modes. It further means that the lives of the members of society are well adjusted and their personality have scope for healthy growth. The members of the organized society derived satisfaction from these conditions. When society is not able to meet the changing circumstances, it leads to social problems and dislocation of its organization and become a social disorganizations. So wherever the society will not get satisfactions and there is no character for any circumstance, that time the society will be organized. Definitions of social disorganizations. Emil Durkheim says social disorganization is a state of disequilibrium and lack of solidarity or consensus among the members of the society. So it is a state of disequilibrium. This is a unstable or unequal conditions and lack of solidarity. It is not united among the people. There is no uniformity or consensus among the members of the society. It is defined by Emil Durkheim and Agman Nimkov. They have defined social disorganization refers to the disruption of the functions of some social units such as a group, an institution or a community. So it is a disruption of the function. It is always distract or restrict of the some kind of normal functions that is affect our social institutions or our community. So that is a social disorganization. Next one is first defined social disorganization is a disturbance in the patterns and mechanisms of human relations. It disrupts the functional relations among the members of the society and they will perform the accepted and task of the group. So always the social disorganization is the disturbance, patterns and mechanisms of the human relations. It is mainly the human relations vary from one man to another man, that is always disrupt to the societal activities. So that disturbs functional relations among the members of a society. So that is perform accepted and the task of the group. This is the social disorganization according to Fairs. Then Eliot and Merrill says social disorganization is the process by which the relationship between members group are broken or dissolved. So it is the relationship between those who are deviant from the normal behavior. So that is the relationship between the members group are broken or solved. So this is the social disorganization. So we have two more definitions also there. That is Mower says social disorganization implies some breakdown in the cultural contact, some disturbance in the equilibrium among the various aspects of the culture pattern. Yes, the social disorganization breakdown in the cultural contact. In our society has a set of social norms. That norms will be breakdown from the social members. So that's why the cultural contact will be affected. So that is a cultural contact, breakdown of the cultural contact is one of the social disorganizations that will make some disturbance in the equilibrium among the various aspects of the cultural pattern. So that a disturbance will create the unequal conditions among the various aspects of the cultural pattern. Then P.H. Lardis says social disorganization consists essentially of a breakdown of social control so that disorder and confusion prevail. So the social disorganization consists essentially breakdown of a social control. So because the human being haven't any kind of social control, because they are going the different way or deviant from the normal behavior, though at that time the human being has a breakdown of social control, so that disorder and confusions prevail in the social disorganization process. Then Stuart, Kuhn, Walter and Bodenhofer and Corker says, if a social organization means the development of a relationship which persons and groups find mutually satisfactory, then this organization means the replacement by relationship which bring disappointment, the watered versus irrationality and unhappiness. So the social disorganization means development relationship with persons and groups. So the disorganizations, the social organization, first we understood the social organizations, the development of relationship which persons and groups find mutually satisfactory. Then disorganization means their replacement by relationship which bring disappointment. They are always making the disappointment or giving some kind of threat among the people. So those things will be arise among the social disorganized people. It is always making the unhappiness situations, and it is always going on the going on the irrationality way. So these are the definitions having the social disorganizations. And social disorganization has some kinds of characteristics. So first one is normlessness. So people often work in accordance to their emotional conviction without following norms in a disorganized society, and they do not give much importance to the idea of right and wrong because of slackness of the norms. Because the people are always don't think about the right thing, right one or wrong one, so they are doing as wish, do as wish. So that time the normlessness conditions will be arised in the society. So that is coming under social disorganization. Then change in the role. In an organized society, the status and functions of each individual are well defined and everyone works accordingly. But as the time passes, changes in social values, things are accompanied by changes in these status and roles. This change in role is cause for disorganization. So the organized society, the status and functions of each individual are well defined and every one works accordingly. See, in our society, making the role and societal activities defined, or status and functions also defined to the society people, that role will be changed in the disorganized society. So the changes in social values and things are accompanied by the changes in these status and roles. Their changes will making the changes of the status and their roles. So this change role is cause for disorganization. The next one is upward mobility. In a disorganized society, there is a high degree of upward mobility. It implies that a large number of status are open to achievement. Many persons reach each status without having any previous training, and they do not understand their roles in the society. So, in the disorganized society is a high degree of upward mobility. It is always a disorganized society developing the high level. It implies that a large number of status are open to achievement. So, it is creating the deviant way, and many persons reach such a status without having any previous training, and they do not understand their roles in the society. Then, what are the causes of social disorganizations? There are various factors which are responsible for social disorganization. One is a social change. The social change to some extent brings in social disorganization because due to it the old patterns, roles and status is disintegrated and Thus, a disparity is created between the various elements of society. In changed society, the old modes come into conflict with new patterns, and old institutions enter into conflict with new patterns, and old institutions enter into conflict with new institutions, and the result of which is that an anonymity of society is destroyed. So this social change also making a social disorganization behavior. The next one is social values. In the society, disruption of social values also causes of social disorganizations. So the social values disrupting is one of the causes for social disorganization. Then crisis. It is a serious breakaway in the traditional activities of a group requiring adjustment in the patterns of behavior and leads to disorganization. As the result of psychological reaction to be crisis, there is a loss of individual as well as group efficiency. The group structure is threatened and there emerges the forces of social disorganization. So the crisis is one of the reasons for deviant behavior, because the people are seeking the sources and achieving their achievements or goal. That time they are making or made the shortcut route, or they are handling the other way, or deviant behavior among the societal people. So that time that crisis also one of the factor for creating the disorganized society. Then industrializations. The industrialization creates conditions leading to social disorganization by affecting family structure and relationship. So mainly industrializations making the difference for in our family conditions, because the joint family become a nuclear family or virtual family. So these are the changes will be occur in the family conditions due to the industrialization. Then division of labor. Extreme division of labor makes mobility impossible and leads to economic crisis, solidarity diminishes, and then leads to social disorganization. So the extreme division of labor, the division of labor makes mobility. They are moving one place to another place. That time leads to economic crisis. The solidarity will be diminishes. So and then that breaking the solidarity leads to social disorganizations, because automatically the persons or human being are split up for the various places. So the disorganized society will be occur. Then cultural lag. Beliefs and thoughts change with great difficulty, and when some elements of a culture fail to keep up with the others, in the process of change, confusions arises in society and social disorganization sets in. So the cultural lag also creating the disorganizations, because we are not a proper understanding with one generation to another generations, that I'm making the argument or some kind of a conflict among the people. So that time this organized society will be occur. The next one is war. War disrupts the economy of a country and introduces confusions and disorder in society. So this is also one of the reason. Then natural catastrophes, ecological disturbances, such natural phenomena as earthquakes, flood, volcanic eruptions, many have disorganized effect in society, because the natural disasters also making the disorganized society, because in the suddenly the natural disaster will be taking place, the some and the group of people are breaking the various places. That time the social norms or cultural contact will be stopped. So that time that place will be taking disorganized society. Then social attitudes. The changes in social attitudes occur with change in social values. Individuals influenced by this change desire a particular kind of change in society, whereas people beset with old tendencies, traditions, and more subject to this change, and then arises social disorganization. So the social attitudes in the among the societal activities or mental thought also taking the for one of the factor for emerging the social disorganization society. So the social attitudes also one of the important factor for disorganization. Then forms of social disorganizations. One is the community disorganization. A community disorganization is to be effectively functioning when social opinion of its members is relatively unanimous. Community disorganization occurs when the various institutions fail to function harmoniously. So the various institutions it automatically fail to harmoniously because they have some kind of arguments or some kind of dissolidarity or the making in the social disorganization. So some of the causes of community disorganization organizations are changes in the overall nature of the society, economic reasons, impact of inventions and science, caste conflicts, communal conflicts, etc. These are the community disorganization. The next one is individual disorganization. Individual is the main point of social disorganization. The disorganized individual creates further disorganization in so far as his behavior affects the other members of society. The disorganized individual is unable to perform his proper duties towards the other members of society. The person, according to Eliot and Merrill, who is unable to assume his role properly sets off a chain reactions of social disorganization. The causes for individual disorganization are lack of personal resources, mental deficiency, physical deficiency, biological deficiency, and cultural levels and uncertainty of the roles. So these are the main reasons for individual disorganizations. They say individual are main reasons for taking the disorganization persons because each and every individual deviant from the set of the norms from our society, so automatically the whole society will be disorganized. So the individual disorganization is one of the main reasons for disorganization. Then there are various forms of personal disorganization. Chief among them are juvenile delinquency, crime, drink, sex, mental deficiency, and insanity and suicide. Then finally we have discussion the family disorganization. Family disorganization is one of the dimension of social disorganization. Family disorganization may be thought to include any of the non-harmonious functioning within any of several family types. So family disorganization means the breakdown of consensus and loyalty, often the disruption of very previous existing relationship of the loss of the family conscious and the development of detachment. Family disorganization is manifested in the forms of such as separation, desertions, and divorce and suicide, etc. So the family disorganizations only taking place among the family members, like that family members are getting the divorced or separations or leaving from the wife or they are doing another marriage and living with another person. These are the things will be taking for the family disorganizations. So these are the social deviance and social disorganization points in this topic. So the social deviance are not much taking place in our society. The society are societies are having proper doing in the proper way and having the same cultural norms or set of rules and regulations will always followed in our society people. Okay, thank you.